Hey, what is going on, guys? It's DK back at you with another video here for the NBA main slate here on Wednesday. We're going to smaller two-game slate, but real quick, let's see how we did last night. So it was a pretty frustrating night, I'm not going to lie. The blowouts really killed me. If you guys watched my video, you guys knew I liked Embiid, I really liked Jokic, I liked Tobias, I liked Levert, who all still did okay, but the blowout just killed these guys. Levert played, he still played 31 minutes. Tobias Harris only played 27 minutes. Embiid only played 20 minutes. He played 20 minutes and got 45 fantasy points. He played 32 minutes last game. If that game would have stayed close and Embiid plays those 32 minutes, he is going to absolutely crush, like 70, 80 fantasy points? And then you got Jokic. Didn't even see the floor in the fourth quarter. Got 48 fantasy points in three quarters. So I really think the process was right here with these guys. We just got unlucky here with the blowouts. In the regular season, I do take blowouts more into consideration, but in the playoffs, blowouts a little more rare. So, again, we got a little unlucky there. McCollum was a little disappointing as well. It was the Lillard show. I mean, he went off. Lillard hadn't flashed upside at all in the series, but he did in that closing game. He went off, so credit to him. That 50 points, that shot, that was amazing. So CJ kind of took a back seat. Dudley, that was just a salary relief play I needed, and he ended up started. But again, the blowout really killed him. I think he only played like 15 minutes. Beasley and Craig are a couple value guys that I did bring up. But yeah, just all around a frustrating night. But I think we got a little unlucky there with the blowouts. But let's jump right into this two-game slate here. So, again, we only got two games. Utah and the Clippers, both, they lose one more, the series is over. So they need to win tonight. So let's jump into it. Harden here at 10.4. Back-to-back kind of off nights here for Harden. I know Utah, not the best matchup, but I think he's okay. Probably not going to be the way I go just because right under him here, you got Steph Curry at 8.3. Now, again, it's two games. Both these games can definitely turn into a blowout. Utah and the Clippers are on the road, so I'm not going to go try to predict blowouts here. I can't really do that on a two-game slate. So Steph Curry, I'm not going to take the blowout into consideration. It's definitely possible, but I'm just going to pray this game stays close. 8.3K is absolutely way too cheap for Steph, so really like him at 8.3. Donovan Mitchell, perfectly fine here at 7.6. He's had a couple big games here. Really turned it on in the second half of this last game. 7.6K seems a little too cheap, but I definitely prefer Steph Curry to Donovan Mitchell. Chris Paul finally flashed upside. Hadn't flashed upside at all in the series. Finally did. He did get a little lucky with 5 steals, but I think he's okay at 7.1. Definitely in play. Lou Williams, so I'm a little torn on what I want to do here with Lou. There's a tweet that came out. One of the Clippers beat writers Doc said he wished he played the starting unit more in Game 4 and likely will in Game 5. So Lou Williams, obviously him and Montrez come off the bench. So I don't know if that pertains to them, but I am a little worried. And also the way the Golden State has been defending him, they just been double teaming him basically every time he touches the ball. So it's a little risky here to target Lou. He does have some big upside. This game stays close, but the whole that tweet from the beat writer plus Golden State really zoning in to stop Lou Williams does concern me a bit there with Lou. Ricky Rubio at 5.7. That's too cheap for him right now, especially for the minutes he's playing. 32, 32, 31, 39 minutes. He's a guy that really gets assists, gets rebounds. So I do like Rubio at 5.7 there. SGA at 4.7. So obviously he starts in the minutes, 34, 32, 23, 31 minutes. If he's going to play minutes in the 30s, 4.7K is too cheap. So I do think SGA is a pretty solid value play. And then Pat Beverly, one of my favorite value plays here at 4.4. I know he did have that big game last time out. Normally doesn't do a whole lot in the offensive end. They need him out there, though, for defense. So I really think he plays 30-plus minutes. 4.4K, he doesn't have to do a whole lot in that time. So I do like Pat Beverly. Him and SGA, I think are some pretty solid value plays. And then below that, there's really no one I would target. So let's move on to shooting guard. We already talked about these guys. Klay Thompson, He finally had that big game here in the playoffs. He's going to have a couple of those here throughout the playoffs. 32 real life points, only 1 rebound. That was it. I think he's perfectly fine here, 6.1. But again, I would prefer going up to Steph. I would definitely prefer going to KD, who I'll get to in a sec. Joe Ingles really has not flashed upside at all in the series. The minutes, low 30s to high 20s. I just don't think I want to go there. Can he have a good game? Yeah, but I just think there are better plays on the board. Eric Gordon at 4.5, definitely in play here. The minutes are what I like here, though. 31, 30, 38, and 38 each of the last 2. If he's going to play the 38 minutes, 4.5K, I know he's kind of scoring dependent, but for a guy that's going to play a whole lot of minutes, I think you got to consider him, and I do like him as a value play as well. Iguodala, another value play you can consider here, 4.2. Now, he's not going to play a whole lot of minutes, he's going to play like 25 or so minutes, but he definitely can get you there in that time, so don't mind Iguodala at all. Landry Shamet, just a lower usage guy. If his shot's falling, he can get you there, but I prefer some of these other guys just above him. And then below that, there's no one really in play, so let's move on to small forward. KD, really like him, really like pairing him with Steph. Again, can this game blow out? Yes, it definitely can, but I'm not going to try to predict a blowout on a 2-game slate. So I like Steph. I like KD a lot here. Gallinari, 6.3. The minutes have been creeping up there. 30, 35, 26 the game was a blowout, and then 36 last time out. Shot the ball 5 of 20, still blew out 30 fantasy points. I think he's a little underpriced here, so I don't mind Gallinari at all. PJ Tucker, 4.6. A guy I've been playing a decent amount here in the playoffs. Been pretty solid. The minutes are there too, 32, 34, 35, 38 minutes, 4.6K. I definitely think he's another value guy you can consider. Jay Crowder here, 4.3. Picked up a start and had a pretty solid game. Was knocking down a lot of threes. Put up 34 fantasy points. If he's going to start again, I definitely think you can consider him as another value play. Royce O'Neal at 4K. The minutes on him have been going up as well. 27, 29, 33 minutes. He's more of a lower usage guy, but I definitely still think he is in play. JaMychal Green. So he picked up the start for Zubac. He only strictly played the 5, though. Him and Montrez just swapped to the 5. I liked when they ran, Montrez and JaMychal Green together. But if he's going to play strictly 5, the minutes upside, I don't know if it's there. This guy is, though, productive when, he does get minutes. So I think he's another guy that you can consider here. There is a lot of, in the 4Ks to lower to high 3s value plays that are definitely in play on the slate. Power forward, let's see, Draymond at 6.6, perfectly fine. I just prefer Steph and KD for a little more, but I have no issue with Draymond as a guy that fills up the stat sheet. Should play upper 30s minutes if the game stays close. Montrez, again, he played 30 and 33 minutes, but then 24 and 26 each of the last 2. That concerns me a bit. I like him when he plays low to mid 30s minutes. If he's going to play 25 minutes, I don't really like that, but this is a good matchup for him. I think the ownership will be pretty low. I definitely still think Montrez is in play. Favors at 5.3. He's a guy that produces when he's out there for sure. Gobert's kind of been struggling in the series, so maybe Favors gets a little boost here. 5.3 as a mid-tier guy. I definitely think he is in play. Let's see. For Reed at 3.3, just don't think we had to go there. The minutes have been dropping where I don't even think he's in play anymore. Okay. Well, I guess I'll bring up Kevon Looney here at 3.6. He's going to play 15 to 20 minutes. He'll probably get you 15 to 20 fantasy points. So I definitely think he's in play, but I probably prefer a couple of those other value guys I talked about previously. And then move on to center. Gobert. Man, I really thought he would do a lot better here at Capella. Not a good defender, but he's been struggling in this series. Now, I think the ownership goes really low. The salary has dropped a lot on him. I still think he has some pretty big upside. I'm definitely considering going back to the well here with Gobert, but he just really hasn't looked good in the series. Capella, probably not for me. I would prefer, playing Gobert over Capella. Let's see. Bogut, another guy that I know the price is up on him, but he's been playing really solid. Fouled out last time, still in 21 minutes, put up 24 fantasy points. He's going to produce when he's out there. So at 4.8K, I definitely think Andrew Bogut is in play. And then, yeah, I think that's about it. So, really on the slate for me, I don't mind Harden, but I really like pairing Steph with KD. I just think they're way too cheap. Again, could there be a blowout? Yes. It's at Golden State. That's definitely a possibility. But on a 2-game slate, you got to take some chances. So I'm going to be rolling with Steph and Durant probably. And then some value guys that I do like. Let's see. You got Bogut. I think it's pretty solid. SGA. I do like him. Eric Gordon, Pat Beverly, even Jay Crowder, Iguodala. So there's a lot of guys in this mid to low tier 4K range that are certainly in play. And like I said, yeah, I like Steph. I like Durant. Haven't really figured out what other studs I want in my lineup, but that's kind of the my thought process here for this 2-game slate. So I think that's it for today's video, guys. If you have been enjoying the content, please like this video, subscribe. If you have any questions, you can leave in the comment section down below. So support to follow me on Twitter. That will be in the description below. I'll give my thoughts as more news comes out. I'm really not waiting for any news though, but if there is any late breaking news, I will give my thoughts there on Twitter. And since there's only one game tomorrow, and I think we'll be off Friday, so I think this playoffs will start again either Saturday or Sunday, where we have like more than one game. So I'll be back for a video then. So yeah, I'll see you guys then.